And now,
it's 10 a.m.
Let's just get down to it.
And it's time for your sports fix.
Strap yourselves in, folks.
From two guys who have covered the teams you're passionate about for years.
We are professionals.
This is Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
It's Jake and Ben, 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott, Ben Anderson. Sorry, I just opened up my X account for the first time this morning, and I didn't realize that I opened it up to 17 notifications.
You talking about the power poll?
Yeah.
Yeah, people were confused about how Utah was behind Cincinnati in the power poll.
I told you guys you were going to get run over by the Ute Twitter mob.
Yeah, I didn't see a lot of it. I was busy last night, but...
But that was the thing. There was none yesterday. I was like, oh, okay. Well, people didn't get too bent out of shape, I suppose. They must agree with me. And that's why I was just surprised to open that up.
I did check. Last night, there were 2 replies.
I know.
And then this morning, there's 17.
Well, part of me was like, oh, good. People get the joke. But then to open it up, it's like, awesome. No, they don't. Here, how about this one? Desperate for engagement. Cincy above Utah is a choice. Some guy goes, looks great. Let's see. The Mormon Hulkster says, terrible, terrible reasoning.
Again, so the reasoning was this, and I actually have been thinking about it since you said it, because I watched the clip, because the clip is attached to, did you do that, Christian? Good job. Attached to the poll. I mean, I know nobody else is doing it, so Jake didn't do it, and I didn't do it, so it had to be Christian. Your reasoning was there are 3 teams in the Big 12 that have 1 loss in conference. You kind of said your words wrong, but I do it all the time. You said BYU can't be number 1 because they just lost. So BYU falls to number 2.
Right.
Texas Tech has the worst in-conference loss of the 3.
Arizona
BYU
State
lost to Texas Tech. Cincinnati lost to Utah. Texas Tech lost to Arizona State. So you dropped them to 3 because they have the worst loss of the 1-loss teams in conference.
That's right.
So they're at 3.
Right.
BYU is at 2 because they just lost.
And Cincinnati couldn't lose in the bye. Yeah.
Now, Cincinnati has lost both, has the best combination of not most recent loss and best loss. So they jump up to number 1.
Correct.
You've said stupid things in your life. That's not the stupidest.
Oh, hey, I'll take that. And really what the story is that months ago, Texas Tech fans got really bent out of shape about something that I said. I called their leadership, not even their team, but they're like leadership bozos or something. And the Texas Tech fans got bent out of shape and then ruined a vacation. So now I have a personal vendetta against the Raider fans. And I refuse to rank them number 1 in our stupid poll every Tuesday.
And I will say, now while I disagree with you that it's stupid, I think it's very not stupid. I don't think your line of reasoning is probably all that different than the types of reasoning that have been argued in the College Football Playoff Committee before.
That did cross my mind, yes.
I don't think what you're saying is as asinine as a lot of fans might want to think it would be at the highest level.
Yep.
I am sure there have been those types of arguments. Well, they all have 1 loss. It's all in conference.
Who's got the worst loss?
But who's got the worst loss of the 3? Yes. That's actually relatively decent logic. That's a good argument. Now, Utah having just beat Cincinnati makes it difficult for me to put Cincinnati above Utah. However, when you're talking about the College Football Playoff Committee, they are looking at who actually deserves to be there based on our belief in a system that doesn't actually have rules, which your system is. If you have 1 loss, you're better than the teams that have 2 losses. Again, actually not insane. But then it goes down to the weird splitting hairs of who, when, regardless of what they've done head-to-head, hence BYU and SMU last season.
Right?
So while I absolutely disagree with what you said, I don't think you're the only person playing by these rules.
I love this one. C on the TalkSnap says, congrats on the engagement farming.
Yeah. We don't think about it that well.
That's not real.
Well, you know what? I couldn't tell you the last time we've had 17 replies on one post.
You're right. It did work. But that was not the plan.
No. I hate to disagree with you, C. It's not engagement farming. It's a personal vendetta.
Okay.
It's hurt feelings that haven't been let go for several months. How was I supposed to enjoy myself in San Diego when I've got, what's that guy's name?
Moe Jaguar.
Telling me to bleep myself.
Yeah, right. Waking up, good morning, except to everybody, except you. But to this point, okay, so let's just lay this out here, and we can start with the college football playoff, or at least we can touch on it if you want. How the hell is Texas above BYU?
Because of some stupid reasoning like me.
Texas has 2 losses. They have looked actively bad this year. Like, to the point everyone was like, oh, is Arch Manning the most overrated college football player of all time? And they are 2 spots above BYU in the current ranking. How is Notre Dame above BYU in the college football playoff ranking? If Texas Texas Tech is the 6th ranked team in the country, that's BYU's only loss, and they got their butts kicked. They got run. How did BYU get punished that badly? How are they behind these other teams that have much worse losses than that and more losses than BYU?
Well, obviously they have idiots like me who are coming up with this thing. But can I tell you honestly what I think? It's because it doesn't matter, so they can play these stupid games. So you can put Texas ahead, give a nod to Texas, but the truth is they're going to lose another game and move down. So it's just cute to give them a little credit at the moment. And let's pretend they don't lose another game, Ben. They have games against Georgia and Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, if they win those 2 games, they're above BYU.
Oh, they are, absolutely.
So it's honestly cowardice, because this way you don't tick off the Texas fans. You give them a little bit of nod, and you know that this stupid thing is going to be solved for you.
It's going to take care of itself.
It's going to take care of itself.
You are right.
So it doesn't matter. It's a stupid storyline. They're just messing with fan bases because they know it doesn't matter.
I wonder, that absolutely applies to Texas, because you're right. It will fix itself for them. They're never going to have to explain it. It's going to be fine. They're going to lose to Georgia. They're going to lose to, who is it, A&M?
Texas A&M.
They're going to lose both of those games, and yes, they're going to be washed out.
And if they don't, they would be in.
Then they're in. Great.
Yes.
Awesome for us. Us being the College Football Playoff Committee. Notre Dame does have an easier schedule. They're at Pitt this weekend, then they host Syracuse, and they're at Stanford. I think there's a real chance they win out. If they win out, they're certainly going to be in the College Football Playoff. But they do, too. They also have 2 losses. And yes, they were at the very beginning of the season, but they lost to Miami, who, yes, was the 10th ranked team in the country, but Miami stinks. Miami's not a great football team. Texas A&M is very good. That's their other loss. But that's a worse resume than what BYU has by a lot.
But stop. It's not about the resume. It's just not, or at least that's not the entire story. Notre Dame should never, ever, ever be able to operate outside of a league and be included like this. Never. But there has always been an exception for Notre Dame because they're Notre Dame. Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I'm surprised that they weren't a 3-loss team and got into the 4-team playoff. I mean, let's see, the Manti Te'o team that went to the national championship. You know, BYU had them on the ropes that year, and that was Riley Nelson. That was, a fine BYU team, but not like a great BYU team.
No, a fine team. An absolutely classic Bronco team.
And
tough, solid, maybe more wins than they deserved or should have, you would have expected, but yeah, not a great team.
And if memory serves, Riley Nelson had Cody Hoffman wide open in the end zone and just missed the throw. And that was the difference between a BYU victory and a Notre Dame loss. And they went to the national title that year because everybody just bends over backwards to include them. So, we could start complaining about that, but that is far from a new issue. I'm surprised Notre Dame wasn't top 5.
Yeah.
Give them the benefit of the doubt. Are you looking at it right now? Have you looked at their schedule?
Notre Dame's?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nothing.
Nothing. USC, I guess, is
what?
It's a top 25 win.
Okay.
It is.
You and I have seen USC for several years now.
I'm not a stinking Riley believer.
I know what USC has looked like for the last decade.
But they're currently 17th, and they're a 2-loss team. So get ready for it. If USC goes undefeated, they're going to jump Utah, too.
Yes, they will.
Still, BYU beating Utah is a better win than Notre Dame beating USC.
Totally agree. But see, here's the thing, Christian.
On paper, it's a better, according to their own rankings, it's a better win.
But you're pretending like that matters. It doesn't. Stop it. It hasn't for 50 years. I don't know. It hasn't, certainly going all the way back to the Bowl Alliance.
You are not kidding about USC or Notre Dame's schedule. Again, losses to Miami and Texas A&M. They beat Purdue, Arkansas, Boise State, NC State, USC by 10, not a blowout, and then Boston College and Navy. Not good football teams.
It's not Murderers Row.
No.
Utah State's Mountain West schedule might be more difficult than that.
Yeah.
Or at least the games they've won.
I mean, Utah State played A&M and Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I do not think the Big 12 is a great conference. Everyone in the Big 12 has a better schedule than Notre Dame's, other than playing Miami and Texas A&M, and they lost both of those games.
But you would consider those non-conference because they were the beginning of the year. I mean, if you look at the meat of their schedule, what would occur in the quote-unquote conference season, it's
nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
But that doesn't matter. They're going to be included. It doesn't matter. So, I mean, yeah, I listened to JJ and Alex yesterday when this was all coming out, and JJ was bent out of shape about BYU falling to 12, and it's like, what do you expect, dude? I mean, it doesn't matter. So they can put whatever they want on there. I'll tell you what, if BYU wins out, they'll be comfortably in, obviously. They'll have the automatic bid, but they'll be top 10.
Yep. Yeah, they will. Absolutely.
So this ranking means nothing. Utah's way of getting in is still a tough one. It's not over,
no,
but it's a tough one, regardless of being ranked 13th.
You're right, and they have put Utah in a perfect spot to never move them into the playoff.
Right.
You put them at 13. The team they lost to is right in front of them. Texas is going to drop out, but Texas dropping out is going to open the door for other teams to move in front of them, not including Utah.
And you still have to include the ACC champ and the Group of Five champ, which are both ranked below Utah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's still a long way. You still have to get them to take 3 Big 12 teams, which is a huge long shot, and you have to root for the other conferences to suck.
So, yeah, you're going to need weird losses late from Oklahoma, from Notre Dame, from Oregon. You're going to need several of those teams to drop out.
Which was true regardless of what we saw yesterday, which, again, is why the college football playoff rankings or whatever is so silly this early that it's barely worth paying attention to, let alone getting bent out of shape about.
And, yeah, to the point, I'm not trying to lend credence to this because, as we said, it's all a game. The same way your power poll votes might feel asinine are probably not unique to actually how things get done.
How do you rank Notre Dame ahead of BYU? Well, you turn your brain into a pretzel, but you come out with it, and then you justify it with something weak like I did yesterday, and then you move on with your life.
And again, I'm not actually sure your logic is as flawed as it looks on paper. The results are flawed. The logic is not. It doesn't pass the eye test. It does pass the sniff test.
So our guy,
silly as that sounds,
Ivan Maisel can turn his brain into pretzels and put out whatever he wants. And I just pick on him because he's like the only one I know. And the UVA athletic director, who's the head of the playoff committee, they're going to do whatever they want, and then they're going to give you the bird and move on with their life. And it will have nothing to do with the final college football playoff ranking, which actually does matter. Remember the time they shafted the Big 12 when it was Baylor and TCU? It was like the first 4-team playoff when Ohio State won, right? They didn't include either one and plugged Ohio State in, even though that year I don't even think they were their conference champion.
Which, again, is a funny justification for moving to 12 teams, which I don't agree with, but they just do the same thing on a larger scale now. Now they're doing the exact same conversation we're having of why are those teams not in. They're just doing it with teams 12 and 11 and 12, the final couple of names that make it in, because they're going to favor USC or they're going to favor Notre Dame or they're going to favor Texas. These
or
teams
SMU
we're talking about right
somehow.
Now. Yeah. And I'm not saying woe is us. It has nothing to do with BYU and Utah for me, other than that's the teams we talk about most regularly. It's just that they are still going to pick the who's who. They're still going to pick the teams that they know the logo of and that they know are going to be good television, bring good television audiences.
If I were BYU last year, I would have been super bent out of shape. Super bent out of shape. I hope Tom Homo wrote those guys a tersely written email about how displeased he was. Because it was, speaking of mental gymnastics, ludicrous to pick SMU of all teams over BYU.
Yeah.
BYU beat them on the field.
You would think that would matter, but then again, sometimes you got to put Cincinnati above Utah.
Much like Utah beat Cincinnati, yeah.
Sometimes you got to put BYU above Texas Tech.
See, that's what was lost yesterday in people burying me. That's what was lost. It was actually a compliment to Utah, not not a slight. Correct. It was actually a compliment
You're right.
to
Putting
Utah.
Utah behind the team that they just beat is a compliment to Utah.
It was.
Because it's such a good loss for Cincinnati.
Correct.
You're exactly right.
I wasn't burying anybody. I was paying a compliment to a great 2-loss team.
You know what? You're onto something. Yeah.
I didn't lose the 2 games. It's not my fault.
Texas, we applaud you for losing to Miami.
It's a good loss.
That's impressive. Thank you for your service. So anyways.
I think it was Notre Dame that lost to Miami, but yeah. Did Texas lose to Miami too?
No, Texas lost their first 2 games, right? They lost to Texas A&M and Miami to start the year.
That was Notre Dame, yeah.
That was Notre Dame?
Yeah, Notre Dame lost to those 2
you're
teams.
right. Okay.
Texas lost to Ohio State game 1.
And Florida.
And then Florida,
excuse me.
who's stinky in game 5.
Both have a quote-unquote actually good loss and a far less excusable loss to a team in Florida.
Yeah, Florida's not a good loss.
No, it's not.
And Miami's not looking like a good loss either.
Florida's since fired their coach, so things are different. It's a different Florida team than the one they lost to.
Okay.
It's a good loss.
Okay.
Remember Tebow?
I do.
Yeah, it was a good
remember
loss.
him.
It was a good loss.
So, yeah, I'm glad my desperation for engagement played out yesterday. That was all a master plan to dupe all these great Snap Talk listeners.
It's going to be a good Christmas.
I'll tell you what, I think I'm getting a bonus. That's what you got to do. You got to pick the Bearcats sometimes, Ben.
Yeah, those Twitter clicks are really adding up.
Sometimes you pick the bear, sometimes the bear picks you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you always pick them both. It works both ways for you.
Stay tuned. Top 3 stories of the day at KSLSports.com. Coming up next, Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's time to break down the biggest stories of the day. This is the top 3 stories of the day on KSLSports.com. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Time for the top 3 stories of the day. Brought to you by J. Brooks Jewelers. Cherish your love with J. Brooks Jewelers. Explore their expertly crafted engagement rings made from the finest materials. J. Brooks Jewelers. All right, Christian, where are we starting today?
Number 1, Ace Bailey with another impressive performance last night.
Flips wide open. 3-ball, no. Rebound tipped around. Markkanen follow, no. Bailey follow, yes. Ace Bailey at the horn.
He was really good in the first half. And that's not a knock. That's what young players do. If you go back and you look through Ace's stretch literally from the first game of the season to where he is now. His first 2 games, he was just awful. Didn't know where to be. He was running around like a chicken with his head cut off. Third game, he kind of starts to figure out where he's supposed to be a little bit, like rotates right, makes a basket, just like running in transition. Fourth and fifth game, he's like, he had a good stint on the floor entirely. Like, didn't shoot well, but clearly understood where he was. And then he had a really good quarter, and then he had a decent game, and then yesterday he had a great first half. And that's just kind of the natural progress. I know it's a little bit cliche, but it's just like, yeah, that's how you build. He had a really good first half, and he had a really bad second half. And then the next step is going to be turning that into entirely good games, 2 good halves. And last night was a very good sign.
Well, he only played 26 minutes.
He did not play a lot.
No, I mean, I couldn't bring up the halftime box score, but I don't even think he played 10 minutes in the second half. So
yeah.
He didn't play as well as he did in the first, I suppose, but he also was sitting down for a large stretch of the second half.
Yeah, you can play Cody Williams a bunch.
Because the Jazz were absolutely creaming the Pacers, who are so bad.
Atrocious. And trying to be atrocious. They are tanking.
So bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't even competitive. Indiana, not a strong defensive club even last year, and they just don't play that end of the ball this year.
They want to play really fast. They want to outscore you. They have some decent defensive players, but you lose Miles Turner, and then did they not play T.J. McConnell in the second half? I couldn't really quite figure out what was going on.
No, they did not.
There.
He had 12 points at half and only played 11 minutes.
All right,
so.
That's enough of you, T.J.
Yeah.
What are you doing out there? So, 20 points from Ace Bailey is just very legitimate. You're not going to take that away from somebody. But when Indiana gives up 150 points, everybody's eating. Everybody's scoring, so it was a little bit easier last night for Ace Bailey. But regardless, the nice thing is, his good halves, he scores 17 points. Some guys have a good half. It's like, he scored 6 points, grabbed 2 rebounds. This is why we've talked about Ace potentially developing into a star. Becoming a star is because his His good moments are great moments. He has the potential to put up 30-point games with relative ease, which, had he played the entire second half and the Jazz had gone to him, he would have easily gotten there.
As much as I don't really like the step back, it is a thing.
It is, yeah.
And the step back three he hit in the corner was really good. The step back three hit in transition was promising. Can I tell you what I like about him? He crashes the boards.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, that sounds stupid. You're like, well, doesn't everybody crash the boards?
No.
And the answer is no.
No, they do not.
No. But he does, and I think he's got a pretty good nose for the basketball, which all things are positive. He's always got a smile on his face. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a lot to be encouraged, I think, with old Ace.
No, rebounding is one of the brightest green flags you can have in the NBA. It means you are trying to do something that's not fun.
And he had 3 offensive rebounds last night.
Yeah, he's a very good offensive rebounder. That's where a lot of his rebounds come. Even the other night when he had 7, I think 4 of them were on the offensive glass. That was really good. What I think has been buried in this game, and not, I'm sure you guys talked about it a lot yesterday in the pre-half and post-game show, was how good Isaiah Collier was. Isaiah was really, really good.
Oh, Coach is loving Collier right now.
He played his last 2 games. He played really well on Monday night as well against Minnesota. But last night, 14 points, 11 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 6 from the floor. His only miss was a 3. He went 1 of 2 from downtown. He was pretty good last year, and he's a flawed player, but his flaws are not unfixable. Namely, he's not a good shooter. But if he can go 1 of 2 from the 3-point line or 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, he doesn't need to shoot a lot because he's so good at getting downhill and getting into the paint. It's a real skill he has.
See if you can. You think of what role Isaiah Collier can play on a team, which I think is interesting because he can get better shooting, but I don't think he's ever going to be ripping
Steph Curry,
it. And you think of why was Jordan Clarkson useful to Quin Snyder's team? Certainly initially, when he first got to the Jazz, is because they needed some sort of offensive output with the second unit. So he just hogged the ball and took shots. There's more than one way to do something. And I wonder if Collier's flaw is not maskable if he's playing 20 minutes as opposed to 32 minutes and finishing the game. Like if he plays 20 minutes and he comes out and gets 6 or 7 assists and the offense is popping and all of a sudden guys like, I know Taylor didn't play last night, but Taylor Hendricks getting wide open shots and all of a sudden your bench unit is a plus instead of a minus offensively because he's good at running it. It basically accomplishes the same purpose, right?
It's funny. It's the flaw every team falls into with Russell Westbrook, which is the value he brings as a what we will call an engine, an offensive engine who gets in and runs everything is valuable. Even with Russell Westbrook, it is valuable. The problem is exactly what you're talking about. When you have Russell Westbrook, he has to be on the court at the end of a game, and he's too flawed to be out there. If you can play Isaiah and not have to play him at the end of games when everybody has to be able to shoot or you have to be able to do, 2 or 3 things on the offensive side of the ball beyond, hey, I just get downhill and I either score a layup or I kick the ball out and that's just not good enough anymore. If you don't have to play that late in game, that becomes a far more valuable player. And if he can do it without becoming a headache, then he's not Russell Westbrook. And there is still value to that style of play.
And from what I can tell, he's far from a headache.
No, he's super competitive, but I don't think he's not a bad guy, and he's certainly not going to be a locker room cancer the way Russell Westbrook has been his entire career.
But if there's 3 minutes left to go in the third quarter, and you're up 2, and he goes and bulldogs the backup point guard, and by the time there's 10 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, you're up 7. I mean,
it's extraordinarily valuable.
It's extraordinarily valuable.
Yeah.
So I wonder if maybe that's the type of role that he actually is built for. I mean, I'm sure he wants to start and I'm sure he wants to finish games and all that, but until he's shooting at least 33% from 3, I don't think that's a thing.
And if he can get there, good. Then you've got a really good player on your hands. You see why he was the number 1 recruit in the country coming out of high school. If not, I still think you're right. He can be change of pace, and man, his pace is impressive.
Right.
He's so fast.
And he's huge.
And he's just really strong. He's a true bowling ball. So.
All right, next.
Number 2, Mammoth return to Salt Lake City tonight. They are hosting Josh Doan and the Buffalo Sabres.
Need a win.
Should be good for what ails them, though.
You would hope so. You've got to snap this losing streak, and you've got to get back to your winning ways. And in fact, you can't probably just snap it. You've got to start lacing together some victories. And
Going streaking, as our friend Nick
streaking.
Olczyk would say.
Their last win was Buffalo because Buffalo's not a particularly good team. So, yeah, if you can beat them again here, you do start to track, playoff standings really early in the season where this club is. If that's the goal this year, you don't want to fall too far behind because if you do look at the Western Conference standings, there are teams like Edmonton who have been in back-to-back Stanley Cup finals behind them. And they're going to make a push because they've got too much talent. Like, there are other teams that will climb and probably be playing better than you by the end of the season. You've got to pick up wins. You've got to start climbing the standings to just give yourself a buffer, which is where that 7-game win streak did help so much.
Are the Mammoth fans going to rain boos down upon the former Mammoth players?
No, I think Doan and Kesselring were I don't want to say fan favorites. Doan probably a fan favorite, but I think beloved. I don't think that's how hockey works. They're more emotional in hockey. They're like everyone's warm towards each other for the most part, it seems like.
I think the only people that boo are Toronto Maple Leafs fans.
Correct.
Well, can I give you a theory on that? It's because the way the CBA is structured in NHL, very rarely are good players scorning fan bases. They're not leaving on their own. Kesselring and Doan were traded.
Right.
So it wasn't their fault. That's how fans view it as, I still like that guy. He was great here. But, I'm feeling great about Peterka, so I'm not really that bent out of shape about it. And I hope they do well. Sayonara. Whereas Gordon Hayward
overnight will bamboozle you.
Abandoned the fan base.
Yeah.
Did it in the most vindictive way possible. And fans get bent out of shape about that sort of thing. I know Donovan, to his credit, didn't publicly force a trade, but there was a chance he was going to get booed when he came back because he made it obvious that he wanted to be elsewhere.
You spend in hockey so much time with your clubs in general, and if you're a top 6 player, they don't replace you very often. You're right. So you build that relationship. And then the rest of the guys are just kind of scrappy, and they become fan favorites because they're Liam O'Brien or they're Brandon Tanev, and they're just like flying all over the ice. And you're just like, I like that guy. I like the way that guy plays. So I think you're onto something.
I'd like to know when was the last time an NHL All-Star, all NHL player left their team in free agency. I'd be curious.
Mitch Marner just did.
Yeah,
last
Marner
year.
did.
But again,
Okay.
Maple Leafs fans and they hate him.
Mikko
Yeah.
Rantanen did, right? Did he get traded and then he left for Dallas? Or no, he got traded to Dallas. He got traded to Carolina and then to Dallas. So even he, who probably has some enemies around because he's not been a good apple at his stops, didn't leave in free agency. So you're
I'd be
right.
curious to know how often that happens. I really don't know.
Yeah.
I'm asking. It doesn't seem like that happens all that often.
Certainly not the way it does in the NBA.
No. All right. What's next?
And number 3, stop me if you've heard this before, the NBA has announced a new All-Star format.
So it's 3 teams, 2 American teams, 1 international team. They're going to play 4 round-robin games. Round-robin, and then there'll be 4 games total, including a championship game. Teams are made up of 8 players. If they don't have 8 players, which would be 2 American teams, so 16 Americans, and 8 international players. If they don't get there through the natural all-star voting, which they're still just picking 24 players, Adam Silver is going to go and pick other players to fill the rosters. So you may end up with, a team that actually has 8 or 9 or 10 American players on one roster. That's possible that would happen. If it sounds convoluted, it's because it's insane and it's a bad idea, and it's just another thing that Adam Silver, who I think is a pretty good commissioner, has no idea how to do this stuff.
I got to be honest, Ben, you were talking for about, probably a solid 60 seconds right there, laying that all out, maybe a little bit more. And all I heard was, meow, meow. Meow, 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 meow.
I'm with you because this is not a secret. This was, while it was officially announced last night.
Yeah, we knew it.
Sham said it was coming in the summer. You kind of have seen it coming. Where it is pertinent to the Utah Jazz is Lauri one of the best 8 international players in the world? Because if he is, he's going to get in. Because they need 8 international players. And then there are some questions like, is Karl Anthony Towns an international player? He's not born in the main 48 or any of the 50 states, right? He's born in, I'd have to look at where he was, but one of the islands. Who qualifies as American-born players, who doesn't? There are other issues there that are going to be interesting that could hurt Lauri's case.
What if somebody defects?
Sure. It's certainly possible.
What if all of a sudden,
Well, since he's born in New Jersey. Who am I thinking of?
what if all of a sudden
But
LeBron,
he has a Dominican background.
like LeBron can't make the 2 American teams, right? So he defects to Russia.
Yeah, if you're the 13th best or 17th best American-born player.
Do you renounce your United States citizenship and go somewhere else? You know what I mean?
Defect. Sure. Yeah, it's an important question.
Hey, bonuses are on the line, bro.
Certainly reputation and, potential Hall of Fame candidacy. Be like, well, I made 5 All-Star teams in my career. I have to be in the Hall of Fame. It's like you got the last vote because you got included because they didn't fill their quota of Americans in this 16-player, 2-team setup. It sounds ridiculous. It is. I'm just trying to do this off the top of my head. Is Lauri one of the 8 best international players in the world? Absolutely, he has been this year. He's averaging 30 points a game. Giannis is in. Jokic is in. Luka is in. Those are kind of the 3 obvious guys. Shea is in. So he's going to make it. Wemby's absolutely going to make it. That's 5 guys.
Embiid, if he stays healthy?
I don't think Embiid's healthy, so he's not going to be in. You start getting into Lowry's conversation here. The
Wagners.
Rudy's in conversation. Yeah. I'd have to look at just the top teams in the NBA right now because that's also who's going to get represented. Pistons don't have anybody. Heat don't have anybody. Cavs don't have anybody.
But see, if I'm Austin Reeves, I'm calling the Dominican Embassy tomorrow.
You're right. Austin Reeves, he might be one of the 24 best players in the world. Honestly, he's been awesome. He's averaging 30 points a game. But if he's not one of the 16 best American players, he's not in. Now, again, some of that, the 24-person vote of just like the natural voting could potentially get him in, and then you're going to have one team that has 19 Americans on it. And you're going to have to go and handpick, name random.
Oh, man, that would stink if you're like the top 24, but the 17th best American. Would they cut you?
I know, again, they're going to make space for you, and some of the rosters will be bigger than 8.
You get to be in the 3-point contest. Yeah,
they're going to find some use for you. But anyways, I know this has been a boring conversation because it's just a stupid thing to do. Just have dumb. East versus West, and every 4 years you get a good game, and that's all it's ever been.
I disagree. Cancel it entirely and just do an NBA convention. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, you
do
could.
an NBA convention.
We're coming to your city, meet all the players, the greatest players in the world.
Still do. You could do a dunk contest, a 3-point contest. You could do exhibition. It could be
and every player has a role, but it's not the horrible All-Star game.
You don't have to go through the motions of playing the stupid game.
Yeah.
You could actually make it really cool.
No, you could. You certainly could.
You don't have to have this pretend thing to care about to do what they want to do, which is that they want to have an NBA convention.
Right.
They want to get everybody in the same town. They want to get a bunch of attention on their players and be the center of the sports universe. I don't think you need the stupid game to do that.
And having been to 2 of the last 6 All-Star games, the one in Chicago and then, of course, the one here in Salt Lake City, the best part is not the game, it's everything else.
Right.
It is everything else. Even in person, the best stuff is everything else. And yes, when I went down to the convention, with all due respect that they had at Salt Palace Convention Center, which was a good idea from Ryan Smith, the problem is like the NBA player you saw there hanging out was Micah Potter. That needs to be Nikola Jokic.
Right.
That needs to be Giannis. But if you do that, everyone gets their money's worth. It's worth traveling for.
Have Giannis do a clinic in front of the kids at the Salt Palace, and put it on TV, put it on the mouse.
Yeah.
I'd watch a clinic.
And that was cool because the Jazz did do a clinic, or the All-Star thing did host a clinic, and like Jordan Clarkson was doing it for the kids.
Yeah.
Get the local team. Local team can hang out and take part in the festivities, and then yes, Jokic comes out and gets to play with kids. You don't know what player's going to show up.
I'd watch the clinic do a clinic.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah, here's how you gouge somebody's eye without getting caught.
Yeah.
But there was a bad
swipe up, not down.
There was a bad eye gouge in the BYU Delaware game last night.
Oh yeah.
Kepa got somebody.
Yeah, well, he's a tough guy.
Surprised they can see.
Yeah, he might not.
Slow start for the Cougs. I know we didn't put that in the top 3 stories, but
figured it out in the second half.
They did indeed. Stay tuned. More next. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's another battle for the Aggies, and the KSL Sports Zone has it covered. The Aggies head south to Las Vegas for a Saturday afternoon showdown against UNLV. Your home for all the play-by-play coverage of Aggie football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
Let's lock in.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Join JJ and Alex coming up today at RGS Exteriors from 3 to 6, 4235 Farm Road in West Jordan. Caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. you're going to win a 4-pack of tickets to step into the magic at Holiday Lights at the Ballpark at America First Square, a brand new immersive holiday tradition opening November 14th. Caller 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. Ben, I usually pull for coaches and players that I covered or that, that we get to know around here when they move on elsewhere.
Okay.
I think you feel the same way. I mean, you hope
you build a relationship with people.
You hope it goes well
whether
for them,
it
right?
is personal or not.
Yeah. And, well, I'll get to my point here. Is there a bridge too far for you? Like, if they go here, you're absolutely cheering against them.
I don't know if I could come up with an example, but I wouldn't rule it out. There, I guess, could be a situation where if... Okay, here's the example. If Tony Finau decided he wanted to be the face of Live Golf, I would probably be turned off.
Okay.
And I like
right.
Tony.
Uh-huh.
I've never met Tony. I have zero personal relationship with him.
But you cheer for him.
If that was his identity, I would say that's a bridge too far for me.
Okay. All right. Exactly. Because now, listen, I didn't know Mark Pope. We covered Mark Pope and all that.
I didn't know where this was going.
I was absolutely rooting against Mark Pope last night.
Oh, okay.
As we were watching Kentucky, Louisville.
You're a big Louisville guy.
Absolutely not.
You're a huge Pitino guy.
I have rooted against Kentucky. I root against Kentucky forever.
Sure.
Not going to root for Kentucky. Not ever, ever. And I like it that Mark Pope has the connection to BYU and did a good job there, and UVU for that matter. I was definitely cheering for him to lose yesterday.
Okay. I think that's different than rooting against him actively, or is it every night you're rooting against him?
Well, I'm rooting against Kentucky. That's my point.
Okay, you're not rooting for him to fail, though.
I'm rooting for Kentucky to fail.
See, I don't think...
He's just part of Kentucky. People around here probably still feel pretty warmly about Quin Snyder, who's going to be in town on Thursday.
Yep.
If he was coaching the Lakers, they'd be cheering against him.
You're probably right.
You know what I mean? Where's that bridge too far where it's like, you know what? I liked you when you were here.
Yeah.
But now I hope you lose every game. If Christian is a Donks fan and he's also an SUU fan and SUU's star player ends up on the Raiders, is Christian cheering against the SUU guy?
No, I would cheer for him.
But it's the Raiders.
It's the Chiefs.
I would cheer for him to do all right.
In the Super Bowl?
No.
Again, where's the line?
Where's the line? That's all I'm trying to say.
Not against my donks, right?
Okay.
When it comes to the Denver matchups, I hope he doesn't do well.
Okay.
Did you guys watch that game?
The Kentucky-Louisville game? We did.
There's a lot of locals. Colin Chandler's in that game. Khalifa's in that game, right? He's played at BYU. That's where he had started his career before he went to Louisville, not to Kentucky. He didn't follow Mark Pope there. He got a bunch of money in free agency, as I guess we'll call it. Also, man, this draft is as good as advertised. This is that Michael Brown. I don't know how to say his name at this point because I don't watch college basketball at that level yet. I'll watch our locals, but
Louisville was up 20 with like 7 minutes to go, and
they came back and made it a game.
And Pope reeled them in, got it to within 4, I think.
But there is some real talent in this draft.
But I was rooting against Kentucky.
Louisville has it, I should say.
No offense to Mark, but I hope
fine.
he loses every game.
Where was Coach on this spectrum?
Oh, Coach. Coach has a really good relationship with Cody Feger, so I think he's kind of pulling for Cody.
Okay.
But Coach is way more personally involved in it than I am.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he has actual personal relationships.
Actually is friends with Cody Feger.
Yeah.
So that's more complicated for him. Me, I hope Kentucky. Who's rooting for Kentucky? It's like rooting for the Yankees.
Yeah. All right.
Get what I'm saying?
I do. Absolutely.
Right. You know what a big fan of Chris Shelton I am. Cottonwood High's maybe greatest baseball player ever. Mm-hmm. If he would have played for the Yankees.
Hope he strikes out every time.
Every time?
Yeah.
All right. Stay tuned. Jake and Ben will have. Good thing he played for the Tigers. Yeah. More next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Let's go! Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. The Cougars return home for a battle against TCU. Your home for the best coverage of Cougar football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Make this Thanksgiving unforgettable with Kenny J's Barbecue. Skip the stress and bring home slow smoked perfection. Pre-order your Thanksgiving meal today. Text 801-230-5396. And come eat with JJ and Alex on Friday from 3 to 6. Kenny J's at the District. Big weekend of college football coming up. Let's hear a little sound. Let's talk some Cougs. They've got a big home game against TCU on Saturday. Let's hear the press conference from head coach Kalani Sitake.
Yeah, on to the next game. Obviously, having time to reflect on the game and learn from the film against Texas Tech. Proud of how hard the guys played. Obviously, didn't do enough to put ourselves in a position to gain a victory, but I appreciate the effort and the willingness to be physical. So that was there, but way too many mistakes for us to be in a position to come back in that game and to put ourselves in a position to have a right to earn the victory. But a good opportunity for us to learn, and so we'll definitely learn from the game. I've said it before. To stay humble and stay hungry. And unfortunately, when you experience a loss like this, it makes it easier to be humble and hungry. And so we'll bank on that, and then we'll also bank on the opportunity that we can still learn from it, and we can still play better football. I just did feel like we played our best, and that was the worst timing. So that's my job as a head coach, to get these guys better. Playing at their best, and I'll try to get that done this week. Looking forward to the matchup against TCU. Sonny Dykes a great coach. I've known him for a long time, and he and his wife Kate are awesome, great people, and amazing leaders. And so Sonny's done a great job with his program, and they're going to. I'm glad that we get to be at home. It seems like we haven't been at home for a while, so good to be home. But I know Sonny will have his team ready to roll, and it's not going to be easy. They are very. It's a challenge, but I'm glad we get to be at home and get ready for that game Saturday night. But looking at what they do offensively, defensively, and special teams, they're tough and they have tons of athleticism all over the place. They're a physical team too, and so this is going to be a battle. We have to take advantage of all the time that we have to prep for them, and looking forward to the matchup. And looking forward to bouncing back from this this bad taste that we have from the last game. But I say that Texas Tech did a great job. They're one of the best teams in the country, and we're looking forward to being better than we were last week and doing that against TCU. They have a great coaching staff too. You can see that Kendall Rouse has done a great job with the offense, and then Andy's done a great job. Andy Avalos done a great job with the defense, and the quarterback, we recognize him from before. We played against him, and he can get after you. He throws the ball. So throwing for almost 2,700 yards, and an effective runner, and he can hurt you in a lot of different ways, and he has weapons all over the place. And defensively, they get after you too, so they can make things really, really difficult for us. And we're gonna have to be at our best to earn the victory. And looking forward to improving from last week to this weekend. So, what questions do you guys have for me?
Our first question will be from Mitch Harper.
Kalani, you brought up the film. I'm curious, just were there areas that you found as maybe positives in a game that was maybe otherwise a tough setback? Were there positives in that film review? And if so, what were they?
Yeah, there's a lot of positives. I mean, I probably can. Some of us that we're a physical team, and they brought the physicality to us, and I thought we responded the right way. We just didn't make enough plays, and I think they took advantage of the opportunities that they had. We didn't, So I think in all three phases, we wanted to play complementary football. They did it, we didn't. And then even when we had an opportunity after halftime to make a comeback and then try to find ways to get back in, it's why you can't. You have to start the game faster, and you have to start right from the beginning. And they were not going to let us come back in that game. They've seen enough of that in the film, and so we when we tried to get momentum and try to get back in it just wasn't there. But I mentioned before, the effort was there. Our guys they work hard. We just got to play smarter and we got to play better in situation football. And they're a really good team, but there's things that we can do to help ourselves. And I don't think you can make up the difference in one play. But we got to find ways to put positive plays together. I thought we tackled well on defense and for the most part made plays, got some stops, and if you're looking at the game, the average starting position did not go in our favor. We weren't able to flip the field ever, and it's a bad time to shank a punt. And we shanked a couple of them, and so that didn't help us in our field position. The turnovers didn't help us in a lot of different ways, and when it's all said and done, we normally do that to people. They don't usually do that to us, and we're 3-0 deficit of the turnover margin, and then they got after us. I thought at the beginning we had some really good things, stuff in the run, and then to muff punt, bad timing, all that stuff played into it, but. The guys kept believing, they kept fighting, and now we'll see if that belief can carry on to this next week. I believe the guys are embarrassed by that game, and I believe that they're gonna be coming in here ready to work today, and I bank on it. That's the type of guys that they are.
Next question from John Kuhn.
Kalani, you mentioned that you needed to get off to a faster start against Texas Tech, and looking back at a couple of previous games, it seems like the getting off to slow starts has been an issue for the offense. Do you feel like that's a matter of execution, or is there some other issue behind some of the slow starts that are recurring on offense?
Well, I mean, it's not all slow starts. I mean, there's some games that we did score first. So I think to generalize it like that on one game is not correct. I think as a team, we need to start faster, and you can put a lot of the attention on the offense, but we won games because of the offense too. We got one game because of special teams, and we won games because of defense. So we need all three phases to work well. That's my job. I think when it started, you don't have to score on every drive, but I think to start the game off, I think we punted and we shanked it. That's not a good way to start the game. And then defense got on the field and forced them in some negative yardage. And looking at it, I mean, we're in a good spot, and then we dropped the punt. And so so the fast start wasn't really anything of an issue. Not everybody scores on the first drive. You know what I mean? Sometimes that happens, but if you look at the start right from the beginning, the bad punt was an issue, and so that's not the offense's fault. Sometimes the offense, a good drive is punting the ball and flipping the field. So that didn't help us in our average starting position and field position, and then dropping the punt didn't help us either. And so that puts right then from that first series, first few minutes, we were put in a bad spot, and then, I mean, I think we were down 10-0, and they still had negative yards rushing. So then it was about the big plays that we gave up, and when it's all said and done, had a good stop, went into halftime and thought we were in a good position. Forced a 3-and-out, a punt in the first drive of the second half, and you could see that we were gaining some momentum, and then it just kind of went to a stop, and those things are, I mean, you tell me, can we fix catches and drop passes, and can we fix better execution? Those are things that we're going to work on, and that'll get us. You can't have those lack of opportunities and missed assignments and mistakes against great teams and expect to be in it in the end. So. We're very aware of what the deficiencies are, and then we just got to get to them. And I got to do a better job making sure that we play more sound at the beginning. And every play matters, especially when you talk about putting together, stacking plays at the beginning of the game.
Next question from Jay Drew.
Yeah, Kalani, what was Bear's kind of mental makeup after the game, and how do you expect him to respond moving forward?
Yeah, he's going to respond the right way. I mean, he knows that it wasn't his best outing. It wasn't the best for our entire team. But I know one thing about him. He's willing to work. He has great work ethic, and he's going to be better next time. And so we're looking forward to seeing the improvement, and he's committed to doing that.
And I just wanted to ask you about Gennaro Guilford's work with the cornerbacks. I mean, if there was the defense obviously played well enough for you guys to be in the game. What did you take away from from their performance, specifically
Yeah.
the secondary?
Well, I don't think they gave up at all. That's what I like, that they kept fighting through it. And we wanted to go to the very end and try to find ways to get it. In fact, in the end of the third quarter, we decided to punt the ball because we felt good about our defense getting out of the drive, and we wanted to pin them deep in the in the red zone. We've done it before, and we decided to punt it, pin them deep, hopefully get the field position flipped our way where we can make them punt out of their backed up and be in a position where we can have a shorter field for our offense, and then we shank another punt. And so that's not good. So it's hard when you're trying to execute things and things like that break down. And the sad thing is that Sammy hasn't done that all year. He hasn't shanked punts at all. And to have both of his shanks show up here in this game is unfortunate. But regardless, the defense kept playing, and those guys never gave up. And there's no finger pointing here. In fact, with all three phases, those guys know they got to work together. We'll circle the wagons. We understand what's being said outside. We never listened to it before, and if we did, now this is the time to not listen to it. So we'll circle the wagons, get back to work, and that's the remedy. Got to get back to work and figure this thing out. And we're still in a good position, though. I want them. These guys have worked really hard. We're in a really good spot where we can still control our destiny, and the destiny starts with this week, learning from the game over the weekend, and then getting it over with, and knowing that we got to go to work, and then seeing ourselves perform much better this weekend.
Next question from Jake Hatch.
Yeah, Kalani, how much concern do you have about special teams being a recurring issue? The muffs that Parker's had, some ill-advised returns, that type of stuff.
Yeah, there's all the things that we know we can do better. Yeah, so those are fixable though. We'll work on it and getting fixed. That just it's stuff that we can fix, guys. It's not like rocket science or anything. We just got to work more at it and be more efficient and try to find our guys to be in a more confident position to make those plays.
And it seemed in the first half you guys had more success running the football between the tackles. What changed there, in your opinion?
I don't know. I think maybe some missed assignments, and then I think it was Texas Tech's attempt to just not allow us to have any positive yards and try to take away the run game from us. And they were keen on that. Even the quarterback scrambling, they were positioned for that. And then when we had opportunities to make plays, it's like the missed catches, those were deadly. So all those plays, it's weird because in this position, you don't want to make a mountain out of a molehill, but you need to address the things that actually help turn the game against us. The mistakes. Otherwise, how are you supposed to improve? And so there's no hiding around it. Like I'm with you guys, I got to be positive about what we're doing because it's not like the guys went out there and made mistakes on purpose, but. They have to own up to it, and everybody's got to be held accountable for all the mistakes that were made, and that's for myself, the coaches, and the players.
Next question from Mitch Harper.
Kalani, 2 years ago, you faced Josh Hoover and TCU, and they had a pretty big day, and it was kind of like his breakout performance. Where do you think Josh Hoover's evolved since that, 2 years ago when you first faced him to now getting ready for Saturday?
Yeah, he's even more deadlier. Now he has more experience, and he's got he understands the offense. You see him making checks. He's just a veteran now. Back then, we were hoping that maybe him being new to the scene and inexperienced would be in our advantage, and it wasn't. So now he's a much better quarterback, and you see in the way he distributes the ball to all different receivers, the way that they run the ball, the way that he reads RPOs, and I mean he's a really good quarterback, coached really well, and so this isn't going to be easy. But that didn't go well for us a couple of years ago, and we remember that. So we're going to have to find ways to be better than we were against him the first time around, and we get to have him at home, which is going to be helpful for us.
Does TCU's offense, and I ask this because you guys face a lot of different looks in the Big 12, but is there anyone that you faced already that they kind of remind you of offensively that you've seen this season?
Well, the thing is they do things differently where they can run the ball if they want, and they can pass the ball every down if they want to. I think it's not like you're just going to go out there and impose your will on them. They have different ways to attack you, and they can throw the ball downfield. They can. He's an accurate thrower where he can thread the needle if he needs to. He doesn't need to make big time throws right away. He's an accurate arm. He can throw across the field, things like that. So I think they're a complete offense where they can do a lot of different things. We have to be a complete defense and defend it all, and that's easier said than done. That's why teams that are coached by Sonny Dykes usually find ways to score a lot of points. And so, and when all the attention goes to the offense, you forget that their defense is effective too, and they can get after you too. And then, they're a well coached team, man. The coaches, I've known them for years, and those guys have amazing reputations. And there's a reason why those guys played for a national championship a couple of years ago.
All right, there's Kalani Sitake's weekly press conference as the Cougs get ready to take on TCU. Coming up next, we have What You Got Wednesday, Ben. I know it's your favorite part of the week.
What do you mean? What
Second
do you
favorite.
hate our show?
No, I said it's your favorite part of the week.
Passive stuff, all this passive aggressive stuff about like, oh well, I like the power poll, or I like doing What You Got Wednesday. Yeah, I like doing this job. I like our show. We have a lot of creative say in our show.
Oh, I like What You Got Wednesday. I don't like the power poll.
Well, neither do Utah fans apparently, but that's your fault.
They've had some funny lines at least.
They've had some good responses.
I don't think they get it though. I don't think it's really landing.
Sure.
Although I do like this one that we got from Ty Tribbs not that long ago. He says, I get it. Jake is cosplaying as an AP voter.
Yeah.
You're kind of
exactly right. Good job.
Kind of.
Yeah, you're exactly right on.
You're welcome, for you and Christian both, for getting you this kind of attention.
Appreciate it. I did already mute the conversation. So
Did you?
I'm not going to mute it. I love looking at it.
Oh, yeah. I'll bring it on. Yeah. Just know that you don't get it.
Just know that the equipment is very
It is actually
expensive.
absurdly expensive, but we can't afford it. But it's in front of us.
That was a pretty funny line.
That was a great line. That's one of the best lines I've heard on Twitter in a while.
I just love I'm being accused of engagement farming. I don't even know what that is. No, it's really just hurt feelings.
Clickbait, yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
My feelings are hurt.
Anyways.
Happens easily.
Yeah.
What You Got Wednesday coming up next? I like today's topics. I think it's going to be
we got two good ones.
I think it's going to be competitive. We'll get to it straight ahead. Stay tuned. Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
Kyle Whittingham and the Utes hit the road to Waco for a showdown against Baylor. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What you got Wednesday? What's the deal? Jake Scott rules, Ben's out to steal. Bozo takes their spinning around. Flush it down, flush it down. Emo skater Ben with a devious grin. Jake rolls his eyes, lets out a sigh.
Jake and Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Nominate the youth sports volunteer you know for the Hercules Hero of the Week. Submit your nomination at kslsports.com/contest and listen every Thursday to JJ and Alex for the winner. Help us celebrate the efforts of those volunteers making an impact with the Hercules Hero of the Week, sponsored by Hercules First Federal Credit Union and Beehive Meals. Time for What You Got Wednesday. If you're new to the show, Ben and I go head-to-head every Wednesday on 2 5-selection drafts. One sports-related, one not. Then we put it out to you listeners for the vote.
Where do we vote?
On the Snap Talk.
On the old Snap Talk, that's right.
The old Snap Talk. All right. Christian, what happened last week?
Last week, best Raiders of all time. Ben won even with the Baker Mayfield
What do you mean
pick.
even with the Baker Mayfield?
Worst pick ever.
Why didn't I get him number one overall?
60-40. And famous Canadians, Jake won 55-45. So a split last week.
Should have taken Gordon Lightfoot. Dang. Should have taken Jim Carrey.
Where does the love for Baker Mayfield come from?
Everyone loves Baker Mayfield. You love Baker Mayfield. What are you talking about?
I like his redemption story.
I don't think right. Everyone does. You're not alone in that.
I don't think he's all of a sudden better than every Raider quarterback of all time.
Oh, I do.
Well, the fans do.
Yeah, fans do.
Okay.
Clearly, yeah, I won. You lost.
All right, so I have the first pick in the sports draft, which is what?
Well, Quin Snyder is coming to town, so let's go with the best Jazz players of the Quin Snyder era.
Which is funny. This is kind of a bygone era already. I will say there's no player on this team minus one. There's no holdovers, though one has come back. But there are no holdovers from Quin Snyder's teams, which was not that long ago.
No, Jordan Clarkson was the last one.
Jordan Clarkson was the last one.
Okay. Is there an automatic number one pick?
I don't think there is, no.
I don't either.
And it depends. Are you taking fan favorite or are you taking best player?
Yeah.
That's totally different.
I'll take Donovan.
Okay.
I don't think the Quin Snyder era had a rise without Donovan. I mean, I realized it rose without Donovan, but I don't think it kind of hit the level.
Sunk.
Yeah.
It would have sunk.
Right.
Donovan rescued it. And Donovan right now is a top 10 player in the NBA. He's playing awesome basketball.
Yep.
And he was a member of the Jazz, and Quin had a ton to do with him. The only person Quin may have had a bigger impact on was the guy I'm going to take, and of course that's Rudy Gobert. He just really found a way to get a ton out of Rudy. And Rudy's a good player and has been good in Minnesota as well. Has won another Defensive Player of the Year award, but he was really empowered by Quin early. So
all right,
then it starts to get interesting here.
My next one will give me no votes, but it's the answer. It's Gordon Hayward.
Agreed.
He was the third best player in the Quin Snyder era.
Yeah, for sure. He's not going to the Hall of Fame. Rudy will. I think Donovan probably will as well, which is crazy. There were two Hall of Famers playing here at the same time. But, well, this is where it gets tricky. I think those three were obvious. Those are the three All-Stars. Nobody else made an All-Star game? Oh, yes, they did. I guess I'll go with Mike Conley. I didn't even have Mike on my list until I laid it out
that really
way.
clicked in that last 5 seconds in your brain, didn't it?
Worked.
Yeah. Funny how that works.
Okay, I'll go with Mike Conley. Mike was pretty good. Was really good the year the Jazz had the best record in the league. And then they moved off of him pretty unceremoniously. The most beloved Mike was in the Will Hardy era. That's the funny thing. I think Jazz fans really fell for Mike the year he was the leftover piece.
I guess I'm going to go with a player that actually could hit a game winner, Bojan Bogdanovic.
Yeah. We're going late era. I mean, I know you already got.
Gordon Hayward wasn't late era.
Among all these players, and don't get me wrong, Donovan Mitchell created a bunch of exciting plays. Bojan might have been the most exciting player to watch. He hit some crazy shots.
He did.
And remember against Memphis, I think the Jazz lost this game, but Donovan Mitchell out that first game. I think Bojan had 30 points in the first half of a playoff.
Saved him.
Yeah, like he was a great player. Bojan was really good. Underrated player in Jazz history. Very good player. All right, I'm going to go with a guy who is not the sixth best player from this group, but I do think was really exciting and had one moment specifically that makes him stand out among the rest. And I'm going to take Joe Johnson. His performance throughout the entire playoff series against the Clippers, which was, until Donovan got there, the crown jewel of the Quin Snyder era, he saved them because Rudy Gobert got hurt, and they needed a guy who could score, including the game winner in Game 1.
And Gordon Hayward was poisoned at some point.
He poisoned himself or was poisoned by somebody else.
Yeah, Joe was popular, but doesn't belong on the list, but I see why you picked him. He did win one game for them in a playoff series.
He was really good. He was a really good player. But
Kind
yeah,
of.
you're right. He's not the sixth best player that ever played for him.
I'm going to take Joe Ingles because I think Joe will get me votes.
Joe will get you votes. Joe was great.
And my top end, Donovan and Gordon, might not give me votes, so I gotta pick a vote getter.
Absolutely. And I will go with the other guy who these two were in tandem, and I will go with Jordan Clarkson. Joe could have won the Sixth Man of the Year award that year. Jordan Clarkson did win it. Jordan last night, if you missed it, moved into top 10 all-time amongst bench scorers in NBA history. He's playing awesome right now with New York. He's shooting really efficiently. Mm-hmm. If he keeps playing like this, he's going to be in the league a lot longer than maybe I thought. I kind of wondered, is this the last 2 or 3 years? 3 is still a long time, I guess, but if he plays like this, he's going to keep getting paid.
I'm going to take the best point guard of the Quin Snyder era. Now, It was only briefly.
Okay.
And it did not last. But George Hill, the first half of his only year here, that was the best point guard play Quin Snyder ever got.
He was close to an all-star.
He was great.
He was really, really good.
He was 20 and 10, basically.
Exactly what the doctor ordered.
Awesome.
Gets turf toe or whatever his toe injury was.
He
doesn't
had
get a
foot problems.
contract extension. And it got bad quickly. But
Rudy was calling him out, remember?
George is one of the better what-ifs in Jazz history.
When he played and was healthy, he was awesome.
You're
and
right.
a big part of the reason they made the playoffs that year, which, of course, was the first playoff berth back from the rebuild. So, George Hill.
All right, I've got 2 players on my list. I'm going to go with the bigger fan favorite, but they're both fan favorites, and I'm going to go with another point guard, and I'm going to go with Ricky Rubio.
Yeah, Ricky sucked. He had a triple-double in the playoffs.
He had a great moment in the playoffs. He
was nice.
Yeah, he's very enjoyable as a person. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's the 10th pick on this for a reason. You know, you're talking about the 10th pick in an era that had, it only lasted 6 years? How long was Quin here? Maybe a little bit longer than that, but it wasn't eternally long. And there was a lot of these guys were here for most of the time. So when you're picking 10, I mean, you picked George Hill, who had 40 good games.
Yeah.
So I think Ricky has an argument to be a better player than George Hill over the stretch. His prime with the Jazz was not better than George Hill's. What other names could have been on this list? Because we got 9 of my 10. I didn't
Derek
have George
Favors.
Hill. Oh yeah, Favors. I had Favors much higher. We didn't pick him.
Mm-mm.
I should have taken Favors over Rubio. Sorry, I X'd him out already. I thought we had taken.
Too late.
Yeah, it's too late. I put Kyle Korver.
Maybe of the Jerry Sloan era.
He was better in the Jerry Sloan era.
Not the Quin Snyder. He
right.
barely played.
Favors should have been on this list. Messed that up.
I thought of Favors. I took Ingles and George Hill
Would you take
over
Royce?
Favors. Royce shouldn't be on the list.
No, I don't think Royce. No, Favors should have been on the list.
I think Royce is better than Ricky.
I don't know.
It's at least a conversation.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about this. Favors should have been on this list. That was my fault. I crossed him off my list early, and I don't know why. That was a mistake. Recap.
Jake had the number 1 pick. We'll see how this goes. He went Donovan Mitchell and Gordon Hayward. Then he went Bojan Bogdanovic, Joe Ingles, and George Hill. Ben went Rudy Gobert, Mike Conley, Joe Johnson, Jordan Clarkson, and Ricky Rubio.
I certainly think Favors should have been on there before Joe Johnson.
Yeah, that's fine. He should have been on there. I exited out on exit. That was a huge mistake on my part. That's why drafting is actually a little bit more difficult than it looks. Can I steal your eraser? Oh, thank you. If you're just listening on audio, I also do a whiteboard on the YouTube for no real reason.
All right. What is our not sports-related topic?
I think it just confuses me, so I miss guys like Derek Favors.
Not sports topic today. We're going to go with best TV personalities.
So not fictional TV characters, but TV personalities, people who played themselves on TV.
Not necessarily actors either.
Yeah.
Not best TV actors.
It can be a person who was an actor who ends up with a different role, but I don't have anybody like that on my list.
We're doing this because it's Jimmy Kimmel's birthday. Maybe we're reaching a little today. I doubt either one of us takes Jimmy Kimmel.
I'm not taking
but
Jimmy.
that's the reason. I don't know, Magic Johnson was a basketball player, but he was also a television personality.
Yeah.
Right? So somebody who's on TV, not as an actor.
Yeah, and I guess I don't think I'm going to draft this person, but I guess there's a chance where there could be some weird layover, and we could decide.
Like Jimmy Fallon is also an actor, but you can take him because he's a TV person.
Of course. Yeah.
He was in Almost Famous, for example.
Yeah. Yes, Jimmy Fallon was.
He played their manager.
Uh-huh.
Is there an automatic number 1 pick?
There is for me.
Okay.
And I'm going to take Letterman. I think Letterman's the greatest TV star of all time. But I know that there are people who don't even think he was the best late-night show host of his time. And then there are a lot of people who certainly don't think he's the greatest late-night host of all time. So there are probably some people who would have gone a different direction.
Yeah, like me. Alex Trebek.
Okay. I'm
number
surprised
1
that's where you went.
of all time, the GOAT, Alex Trebek.
Man, I thought I was going to get Trebek later, so I didn't take Trebek 1. But
He's the one.
He's the greatest game show host of all time.
Trebek.
I love Alex Trebek. I'm with you. That was a very, very, very sad passing. Good pick. I love Alex Trebek. All right, I'm going to take Conan. Conan he's the best millennial TV personality of all time.
Yeah.
Conan O'Brien.
All right. I honestly can't believe I'm getting this guy at number 2.
Okay.
I'm shocked.
Okay.
Charles Barkley.
Okay. I was just wondering how long I could wait to take him. I probably should have taken him there.
I'm surprised I got him. I told you.
But people love Conan.
I'll
so that might be able to
take
get me some
Barkley
votes.
over Conan 1,000 out of 1,000 times.
All right. Man, I don't want to just do all late night hosts, but I guess I've got to go Johnny Carson. I don't want to do all late night hosts. Problem is Carson is just kind of the one. He's just kind of the guy that helped break through with everything and made that format so important. And it's certainly less important now than it ever has been. But I'll take Carson. I didn't have him on my list, but I feel like I have to take him. I thought you would take him.
I'm going to go with not only a legend, but how many pets have been spayed or neutered in his honor?
Robert
Bob Barker.
Robert Bob
Barker. Reminds me of days producing DJ and PK when that show was on without volume in the background.
I have a fondness for it and also such a hatred.
Oh, I love it so much.
I have such a hatred for Price is Right
Oh,
because
you're
of
crazy.
what it reminded me of. Just like the doldrums of either summer or being sick at home. So I think there's a little PTSD involved with The Price is Right being on. And it's just so corny. I'm going to go with just an absolute, if you were to do this without bias meaning actually picking my favorites, I'll go with the most important people. I think there's a real argument Oprah is the most important TV person of all time.
Wish she'd open the gate during emergencies.
And
That'd
why?
be nice.
Yeah, that wasn't great. But self-made billionaire, went from small Chicago TV afternoon host to a juggernaut of a personality with, she's Taylor Swift. She is all of these things. She has all this sway. It's pretty amazing.
Let's see.
Your list is more fun than mine, I think. More variety.
You know what? I'm not that into cooking shows, but people love them. I'm going to go with Bobby Flay.
Okay. How do you spell Bobby Flay? Do we know?
Bobbyflay, I'm pretty sure.
I think it's more fun when you just make it up.
Just guess F-I-L-L-E-T, Filet.
The
Bobby
Iron
Flay.
Chef, right? Bobby Flay.
I will go with the actual best TV chef of all time, which is funny because he wasn't a good chef, but he is the best personality of all time. Also, dead way too soon. Anthony Bourdain should be alive, captivating on television. His books are truly incredible. If you've not listened to Kitchen Confidential, it's worth your time. Anthony Bourdain.
I can't believe I'm getting this guy at 5. I thought this guy could be a candidate for top 2 or 3,
Okay.
honestly. I'm going to go with the great, the late Steve Irwin.
Crocodile Hunter.
The Crocodile Hunter.
His son's on Dancing with the Stars right now.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm. All right, review.
Sorry, music wasn't playing. Ben had the number 1 pick. He went David Letterman, Conan O'Brien, Johnny Carson, Oprah Winfrey, Anthony Bourdain. Jake went Alex Trebek, Charles Barkley, Bob Barker, Bobby Flay, and Steve Irwin.
A lot of names left off. Had we done this 20 years ago, Regis or Kathy Lee would have been obvious picks, and they were great. We talked about Dick Clark.
Pat Sajak.
Just
Had
don't
I
like-
not had Trebek already, I would have gone with Sajak or Vanna White
I'm
for
just
that
not
matter.
a Wheel of Fortune guy.
We didn't go any news people like you go Peter Jennings or Walter Cronkite.
Yeah,
or
I mean, obviously those would have been great names.
Steve Harvey.
Steve Harvey. I
Harvey's a big one.
considered Julia Child instead of Bobby Flay, but I
Yeah.
figured that the Christian's generation has no idea who she is.
Agreed, even with the movie. Al Roker. Al Roker always seemed like a friendly face to me, and I do still love the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and I'm going to watch it, and Al Roker's going to be on it, and I'm going to feel good about it. I can't believe you didn't go Matt Lauer number 1.
You know what a big fan I am. No, I almost took Casey Kasem. Had Steve Irwin not been available, I would have taken my guy Casey.
I considered Norm Macdonald.
Because SNL isn't really
Correct, I'm with you.
That's more
why I didn't pick it.
acting.
I also would have almost took Pee Wee Herman. because I was a huge Pee Wee fan.
And that's acting,
But he's
too.
acting.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's actually an act. So that's kind of why I
He
thought we
used
could get
his,
into it.
well, that's not even his own name. What's his name?
Paul Rubens.
Yeah, Paul Rubens. So, no, that's a character.
I would have thought that was probably too much of a character. Then again, you have to recognize all of these people are pretending to be somebody else on TV. This is not who these people really are.
No, probably not. No, probably not. All right.
I.e. Matt Lauer.
We'll put it out on the Snap Talk for a vote. Stay tuned. Wrapping it up next, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's another battle for the Aggies, and the KSL Sports Zone has it covered. The Aggies head south to Las Vegas for a Saturday afternoon showdown against UNLV. Your home for all the play-by-play coverage of Aggie football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're listening to Jake Scott and Ben Anderson.
Let's lock in.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Two amigos on the airways, talking sports. They got him Matrix and also loves his tie-dye. Ben's got style with his scarf. Oh my. From the islands to the basketball courts.
Jake and Ben, this segment's brought to you by Peach Doors and Windows. Amazing home transformations begin with Peach, where 5-star reviews are the norm. Call them today for your free in-home estimate, 801-566-1255 at Peach Doors and Windows.
I'm confident in saying the Utah Jazz are not the worst team in the NBA.
No, Indiana is.
Yeah, Indiana is certainly. It is interesting. The Jazz, again, it's early. It's 11 games into the season. Jazz have had the easiest schedule in the NBA so far by every metric. But, the Jazz are right on that line now. If they were to get jumped, they would lose their draft pick. So I don't think that will be the case by the end of the year.
Isn't it crazy that Quin Snyder has been in Atlanta how long now? 3 years, 4 years?
Mm-hmm.
They're 6-5.
Yeah, that's always what they've been.
There's
been that
no
every
worse,
year.
no worse, no better.
Yeah.
I mean, I never knew why he took that job to begin with. That never made any sort of sense to me. I think it makes a little more sense now, but that's not the point. Like, I at least thought he'd make them better.
I think his ability to design really good offensive sets would have allowed them to at least have like an identity of what they are. And they've had some turnover, certainly, but I'm with you. I think he's probably doing a replacement level job in Atlanta.
Well, because the guy before him, who was it? It was McMillan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a bozo.
Yeah.
Thought, okay, well, having an adult as the coach will probably help.
Yeah.
It's not like they've rebuilt anything. I mean, they got the number 1 pick, I guess, but that wasn't because they tanked or rebuilt or anything. I mean, they've still got the basic same team they had when he took over, and they're no better.
Yeah, seemingly
It's just
no
the
better
same.
off. Yep.
That surprises me.
Agreed. And they've had some good players break out, which maybe that's been Quin's best thing always, is he's good at maximizing individual players. He got a lot out of Rudy. He got a lot out of Donovan. He got a lot out of Bojan Bogdanovic. Does it get you to the point as a winning team? He's good at building up your stats. Jalen Johnson's a really good player, builds up a lot of stats. Is it helping your team win games? And again, he won a lot in Utah, but was that just because they had good players? Or was that a Quin Snyder thing?
Yeah, I'm just surprised he hasn't been better. But I think, and this is speculation here, I think part of the reason he took that job is because nobody cares and he can just do whatever.
It might be a lot of...
And he's not going to get fired.
Not a lot of eyeballs, yeah. Certainly possible.
But I am surprised he hasn't had more success. That said, he's probably going to win tomorrow.
Yeah, again,
Do they play tonight?
Tomorrow. Atlanta does. Atlanta's in Sacramento tonight. Now, should be a bit of a cakewalk. And Atlanta, I think, just won on the road at the Lakers, beat them by 20. So
yeah, but back-to-back,
Yeah, it is, absolutely. It's not going to be an easy game tomorrow. And the Jazz should be good at home. That's the other thing. The Jazz should always be a pretty competitive team at home. They should win 50% of their games there.
They were certainly competitive last night.
Yeah, they were. But don't read too much into anyone beating Indiana. The same reason last year you shouldn't have read into anyone beating the Jazz.
Yep. All right, Hanson, Scotty G are coming up next. Stay tuned. We will talk to you tomorrow on the Jake and Ben Show, 97.5 VKSL Sports Zone.